Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160, 101.1 FM. Indiana in the Morning. We're brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. Our interviews presented and protected by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing Indiana County. Wreaths for Indiana County veterans is what we're going to talk about in the next couple of minutes. I have 2 names on my list and 3 people. So I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves so everybody knows who's speaking this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Wesley Wertz. I've been with the organization since we started. We're actually celebrating our 5th year of the project. For those of you that don't know, we do place a fresh evergreen at the entrance of every cemetery in Indiana County where there is a known veteran buried. So it is an ongoing, growing project. Right. Every year we have to relook at them.
Okay. Next we have
Greg Van Horn, president of Indiana County Christmas Tree Growers.
And last but not, go ahead.
I've been on this project from day one also.
Okay. And our third voice this morning. Good morning, Hazel.
Good morning, Chuck. I'm Hazel Johnson, and I've been on this committee for 5 years and enjoying it every year. And each year it gets better. The main thing I want to make sure you know is that we can still use some funding to help get those wreaths to the cemeteries. And if you'd like to write us a check, the check needs to be made payable to, make sure I get this correctly, VFW Post 1989. VFW Post 1989 is what you make the check out to. And then you mail it to Wreaths for Indiana County Veterans, Post Office Box 45, Kent, PA 15752.
So how many cemeteries have you been working with in the past years as you place wreaths?
Like I said, there was well over 177 when we first started. We've since grown that to all the war memorials that we know about, and we placed them there. And a new part of the project we did last year, and we're going to do this year as well, is between the American Legion Post 141 and the VFW Post 1989, we purchased 20 wreaths, and we placed one at every headstone in Memorial Park as well.
Okay, now I understand that the price to buy a wreath, $20?
Yes, $20.
Right, and you can write that off your taxes.
Yep, tax deductible.
Now, where do the wreaths come from? Does somebody have to sit down and put these all together?
They come from Indiana County tree growers in the county.
Okay, do you have a group that's assigned to make the wreaths?
I do now, yes. Whenever, back in 2015, when Sandy Deal called me about this project, she told me what she wanted to do, and I said, well, let me check. So I called Joe Kostrick at Willow Springs Nursery because I knew he made wreaths. And I said, could this be done? And he said, yeah. So we met with Sandy and Della Jean Manning at Eaton Park one night and talked it over and decided we could do it. So then I went and asked some of the other growers that I knew that makes wreaths. So Joe just said we could just spread it out. So some of the other ones will make wreaths. So I have 3 different guys making wreaths now. So
you have a good response from the Growers Association, a good response from the volunteers.
Yeah, very good response. They were happy to do this project.
Now, I've also been given information here that there's a wreath laying that takes place at the Indiana County Courthouse at the Veterans Wall at noon the second Saturday of December, correct?
That's correct.
That's a big wreath.
Okay.
The Tourist Bureau pays for that wreath to be placed there.
Now, that is a half-hour program because sometimes it's kind of cold out there by the courthouse, the Veterans Wall. And we are able to have special music every year because the ICMEA, which stands for Indiana County Music Educators Association, provides a school each year to help us with the music. So this year, I'm pleased to tell you that a United School District is going to be on board, and they're bringing an ensemble group called the United High School Women's Select Ensemble under the direction of Mrs. A.C. Gongaware. And then Mr. Luke Hamilton, their band director, will provide us with trumpet players for the taps to have both taps in front of the audience and also the echo taps at a distance.
Have you had the county courthouse ceremony in years gone by?
Yes, we have.
Pretty well attended?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good. But a few more would always be nice.
Okay, and that's going to be one big size wreath that will be laid there. And that stays all year, or does that get removed later on?
Well, till after, January, or Greek Christmas, or whenever that is, Orthodox Christmas.
Wreaths for Indiana County veterans are subject here on Indiana in the Morning. What else do we want folks to know about this program?
A pretty important point that I think everyone should know about the project is once we've covered the cost of the wreaths and advertising for the current year, we make a donation to the Veterans Relief Fund for Indiana County. And that is there for purposes of even just helping get them groceries or heat through the winter months. Anything the veteran needs to help get by their day-to-day life, that's what that fund is for.
So the magic number is more than 177.
Yes, we
Right.
made 200 altogether.
200. Have you had any donations so far?
Yes, and like Hazel had mentioned, we're still collecting. We have a nice chunk of donations in, and that's furthering the more that we take in, the more we can donate to the relief fund when it's all said and done. Now, yes, we placed 177 wreaths and we ordered 200. That means we'll sell you one if we have the extras available after we disperse them on December 12th.
Okay. And again, this is a countywide project at all the Indiana County cemeteries that have veterans interred. I imagine you've gotten good responses. You haven't missed anybody that you know of, right?
No, and that's how we find out and get a volunteer the first couple of years if we missed one, because some cemeteries are just one or two stones out in the
Correct.
woods somewhere.
Correct.
So when the people call and say, you didn't put one there, we got our volunteer next year to put it there because they know where it's at and they can do it. So we think we have them all covered now.
Again, it's a $20 contribution for the wreath. You can make your check payable to the VFW Post 1989, and you can mail your check to Wreaths for Indiana County Veterans, Box 45, Kent, and the zip code 15752. When you first started this project, did you think it would grow as much as it has over the years?
Not in the research phases, no, because it was a heavy research phase where every cemetery is individually looked at. But it has grown, and the county support is just outstanding. In fact, we attend the commissioners' meetings in October and get the proclamation signed, granting it, and the commissioners are widely on board with this, as well as the community. So the support is gladly there. And I mean, we have a wait list for some volunteers for some areas, just to show how much support we have.
Now, I imagine somebody had to do some research work when this first started over at the courthouse, right?
Oh, yeah, they got a hold of Brenda Stormer. She had the list of all the cemeteries that she knew of, and then we waited till you hear from somebody that we missed one or something, and we took care of it.
Any possibilities that this might grow into another phase besides the wreaths down the line once you get all the cemeteries taken care of? Maybe you'll have enough money to do some other projects?
I would not be opposed to that in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, we did start going a little beyond the actual cemeteries to war memorials. And as those present more and more themselves, we'll continue to look into those avenues of approach as well.
Are you looking for volunteer help? Maybe there's somebody out there listening this morning says, I'd like to become a part of that group, a part of that project. What do they do if they'd like to come be part of your group?
If they're interested in volunteering, essentially what they would need to do is pick up talk to myself, Wes, and we would get you a cemetery lined up, which we include the directions, and then we do distribution the Thursday, December 12th from 10 until 6 to allow people to get there after work. Right. And then we ask all wreaths to be placed by noon on the 14th. So once you have the wreath, you get a stake and the zip ties. If you're interested in possibly volunteering, you can call me at the Legion at 724-465-2326, and we can see where we can place you.
Okay, anything else?
And that's where they're picked up at the VFW. They'll be delivered to the VFW on the 12th, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You can start picking them up till 6 o'clock that evening. Usually we're out of there by 6. And
I would like to publicly thank the Midday Rotary, who has taken on a large chunk of our wreaths. In fact, some of them are doing 6, 7 to 10 wreaths themselves. So I want to make that thank you out there known.
And you place those wreaths no matter what the weather is.
Doesn't matter what.
Right?
Yep. We've been over here when it's been really cold out. Yeah, you want to try to get your stake drove in.
Yes.
Maybe before it's freezing, but we get them all in.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get your donation before December 4th, we will include your name in our little program that we have, a little program pamphlet, a little like a bulletin.
Okay.
So one more time for the location and what to do with your money.
Yes.
We want to make it payable to the VFW Post 1989, and we want to have it mailed to the Wreaths for Indiana County Veterans, Post Office Box 45, Kent, PA 15752.
Have you heard from any of the veterans in the area that have gone out and seen the wreaths that have been displayed?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we hand out little flyers during the Veterans Day Parade. And at the luncheon afterwards, I always have people come up to me asking me to see the volunteer list for this year. So that brings in a lot of volunteers. Actually, I would say probably 90% of our people that place wreaths are veterans or the spouse or children of veterans.
Okay, well, it's a great program. It's been working very well. Would you say this is the fifth?
Yes.
Yep,
Fifth year.
Fifth year.
Again, a phone number if somebody would like more information or would like to be a part of the group.
The phone number will be 724-465-2326. You can leave a message for me, Wes. That's at the American Legion. And I will get back to you, and we'll see what we can do as far as getting you assigned up for a cemetery.
Okay, good job, group. Keep up the work. That's the Wreaths for Indiana County Veterans joining us here on Indiana in the Morning.